Hi, Eamon. How are you? Good to see you again.
Good, great, good to see you again. I'm
Yeah.
I'm in a lot better condition than I was the last time you spoke to me.
Oh, I don't know. I think you were full of vim and vigor the last time
I
as well.
was I was I was still just at the beginning of a long journey in the whole cancer thing. But anyway,
I know.
yeah,
Yeah. And how
but
have you been since? Because
it's
it's
been
four.
up
It's
and
over four
down.
years.
Health-wise, it's been up and down.
Okay.
Have had a few, issues, but
Mhm.
I'm still managing to make work and do do all the other things. Part one of the things that um having the cancer has done has made me kind of expand my studio practice.
Mhm.
So I'm taking more photographs than I ever did before and started exhibiting the photographs just
Oh, really?
yeah. So
Okay.
that has been a very interesting
Change. Yeah.
extension, if
Yes.
you like.
Yeah.
Um, and the other thing is, I've been doing a lot of teaching in France,
Hmm.
and that has been great. I love going to France. It's a
Yes.
beautiful part of the world, and we've had some amazing students coming. Sort of, and um, we set up a studio in out of doors, so because it's warm enough to work out of doors and all of that. So
So
that's been great. That's been um,
that's fantastic. And have you plans to do that again this year?
yeah, we're I'm flying out on the 19th, I think, of September,
September. Yeah.
and then I'll be there until the end of September.
All right. So
So
it's
we
a
have,
fair.
we have yeah, a few 10 days or so
Okay.
pupils.
Yeah.
I not because I'm still making the paints and doing all of that.
Hmm.
I usually fly out 1 or 2 days earlier than the pupils do, and either bring paint or make it there depending on the time of the year,
Yes.
and that's just part of the whole thing.
And it's presumably it's quite an intensive workshop.
It's For me, it's very intensive
Yeah.
because you're living and working with the students.
Right.
We
How many would you have at a time?
Well, we've had up to 8
Okay.
at
Yeah, that's a
times.
manageable number.
Yeah, but still, they're all living in the same house.
Yes.
So I'm getting knocks on my bedroom door at 10 o'clock at night saying, Eamon, can you do a critique on the work that I've just done today? And I'm kind of going, I'm knackered. Go away. Leave me alone. But, that's the nature of it.
Of course.
There is between the food, beautiful wine,
Yes.
and one of the things that I've been doing, we started just maybe 3 years ago, we
Mhm.
started introducing poetry. So in the evening time, before the evening meal, I will read some poetry to everybody. And now we're starting the John Richardson poetry library,
Yes. Yes.
which I think will be a really interesting. So what we're going to do is try and, I suppose, target young poets who haven't are on their first book
Yeah.
maybe,
Yep.
who haven't had an extensive career, and try and promote their careers and um, get people looking at poetry from the get go.
Okay.
But also, I've been doing a lot of work. Since I spoke to you last, I've had probably two solo shows with the Solomon Gallery,
Hmm. Yes.
and I'm working for a show with the Solomon in June of next year.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll actually close. I'm going to do a gallery talk um, for my 69th birthday, which
Ah,
at one stage we never thought I'd make. So
yes.
that's kind of nice.
Indeed. Indeed.
So we're going to do a talk in the gallery on the 20th of June next year, and
Fantastic.
that's all in play at the moment. So I'm
Yeah.
starting the studies for the work, and I've been uh, slowly but surely building up a body of work for
Yeah.
that
Very
show.
good. So you're a very busy man. I mean, I would urge people who haven't seen your episode, which goes back to April 2021, so it's a fair time ago. But I would urge them. It's an hour and 20 minutes, and it is just chock block of some fascinating insights into you and your youth and your, how you grew up, where you grew up, all the sort of individuals that you've met over the years and interacted with, where your practice has been and gone to. I mean, it's just a fantastic thing, but it starts in the garden. How is your garden, by the way?
Yeah, the garden is probably better than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, you have a particular love for plants, don't you?
yeah, yeah. Well, I studied horticulture way back in the day. Did horticulture during the day and
Yeah.
art at night, and then flipped it and did art during the day. But I suppose, one of the things, I did this show for the Butler Gallery
Mhm.
um, 2 years ago, and it was based on an area of land near me here called the 28 acres, and
Yes.
that was the old slag heaps of the mining industry of Kilkenny.
Mm.
And when we moved here, it was barren, and now it is a lush, beautiful, wild landscape. So that inspired me in the garden to
Mm.
actually go and really look at wild spaces and try and garden with nature rather than against nature, which most gardens tend to be against nature to a certain extent, in that so I have things like, I have large swathes of nettles,
Hmm.
and since I did that, it's amazing when you plant things like verbena. They're now covered in butterflies. I mean, extraordinary
Yeah.
amount of butterflies. Um, and even last night, we had this emperor moth arrive in the house last
All
night.
right.
Little
Yeah.
things like that have made the garden probably much more exciting than it even was back in the
Yeah, the
in
butterflies seem to be thriving this year, which is great to see because it is an indication of how your environment is doing.
yeah. So that all of that has informed the new body of work that I've been working on. The making of the paper,
Yeah.
the making of color, all of that is being informed by my, the proximity to the natural world that we are here, that we have here. So that has been
Okay.
very exciting.
So compared to 4 years ago, how would you say your practice has changed in terms of even your involvement time-wise into the various different interests that you have?
Well, one of the things that has been great about the I suppose, getting over the whole initial shock, both mentally and physically, of that diagnosis of cancer. It's quite a mental
Yeah.
experience. I'm now spending more and more time within my practice.
Okay.
Um, uh, Ruben, my son, is now in Trinity College,
Hmm.
and so that has meant that he's off in Dublin. So you're not doing that parenting role as much as you were.
Yes.
So, what else will I be spending my time at but in the studio, or doing workshops? And
Yes.
that has been, yeah, it's been, it's a shift in your
Yeah.
lifestyle.
But you mentioned photography there, Eamon.
Yeah.
Is that something that you weren't doing 4 years ago?
No, I've always done a little bit of
Hmm.
photography. It's always been part of my kind of inverted commas notebook.
Sure. Mm.
I would use it as a reference. But then uh, uh, one interesting thing that happened in France was that there is this beautiful woodworker who was a French guy.
Mm.
I mean, he made the staircases for Clarton's Hotel, and he made the staircases for um, uh, part of the Louvre, and things like. So he was a very highly accomplished woodworker,
Yes.
and he had decided he was leaving the village. So I decided I'd love to photograph his hands.
Mm.
Um, we've we set up the whole studio shoot, did the photographs, and they turned out even though I say it myself, they were quite different from anything I had done before,
Yes.
and so that triggered me to say, well, why don't I try and use these photographs, use them in a way? So I was artist in residence in the gardens down in Mon Concrete Gardens down in Waterford. and the board, which is hilarious, the board could not understand, the board of governors could not understand why I was in the garden painting abstract works.
Yes.
Why wasn't I painting pretty little flowers and, you know, that sort of thing? So I decided I would use the camera as a way of showing them the root of where the work, you know, that root of abstraction of where the work comes from. So we did a show in the Peach House in the gardens.
Okay.
And the Peach House is ancient, hasn't been treated at all. So I call the exhibition Curated by Rain, because we kept on having to move the paintings around to avoid the raindrops coming in on top of them in the
Really?
house.
Yes.
And I showed 3 photographs.
Yeah.
And that it got a big response. So you know, that's something I will look at in the future, I think. I love the methodology behind it, and I love the fact that it shows people, it is a way of showing people where my abstraction comes from, I suppose.
Yeah, interesting. And can people see those photographs anywhere, or do you have them on your website?
I have them on my Instagram page.
Instagram.
I haven't done any of the shows except the first show in the Solomon Gallery. I haven't put up any of those. Haven't done any of the shows with Hanley Hamley. Haven't done any of the shows in America. I've done a few exhibitions in America, exhibiting in America, not exhibitions as such. I've been included in group shows and stuff like that in America.
All right.
And so I haven't done any of that, but I'll get round to it. You know.
Yeah, but as you say, you do put a lot of stuff on Instagram, so
yeah.
So we put a link below too.
Yeah, I love Instagram. I mean, I'm not one of these people who has 10,000 people following me, and I'm only following 2 people. If somebody follows me, I follow them back. So I have the exact same amount of followers as I have following.
Exactly.
And I use it as a chat tool, for want of a better word, where I have great conversations with people, you know. And I'll give you an example of that. I went to Anna about a year and a half ago, I suppose.
Yes.
And I wanted to do egg tempera. I'd never used egg tempera before, and I love Russian icons, so I really wanted to explore it. So I put out a call on Instagram, and this guy from Japan got back to me. He was 82 years of age, and I put the phone with him on it up beside the easel, and he talked me through using egg tempera. Yeah. And it was just a lovely experience, because by the end of it, so we did that for the 2 weeks that I was there. Every day I would do 2 hours with him, and by the end of the time, we were mates. You know, in a peculiar way that we, you know,
and that all happened through Instagram.
Through Instagram, and I have a lot of experiences like that of talking with people, talking about, you know, especially when I moved into the photography and started talking about, you know, composition of photographs, all of that sort of thing, and having these chats on Instagram with people who are much more competent, you know, and their practice has been solely the camera, or even having conversations on charcoal drawing, and doing so that to me has been really exciting part of my practice now, is these conversations that I have with, usually far too late at night when I should be asleep.
Yes,
I'm chatting to somebody in America, or, you know, but you know, that's the nature of these things.
That's the nature of it. And you know, it's a funny, strange concept that, despite the fact that we have all of these means of communicating with people, loneliness seems to be the epidemic of the decade.
Yeah, absolutely. But also,
I don't quite understand that.
Well, you know, as you know, I'm a storyteller, so I usually link up with people who are storytellers. So we end up having these chats about them telling me about their lives and me telling me, and it's quite an intimate tool in that respect. but also I cannot for the life of me understand that whole ego notion of 10,000 followers and you're only following 2 people. That
Yeah.
for me, the Instagram is a kind of a communication tool. It is a community that you can tap into, and one of the things that I'm hoping to do in the future, if I have the time, is that I will say to my followers, listen, the Alternative Kilkenny Arts Festival takes place here at the same time as the festival.
Yeah.
Why not get your followers to send me postcards? I'll put them up in my studio, invite people to come to the studio and have a look at them and see work from all around the world. And it'll also be, another little.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Trina, my wife, actually mentioned something that she's come across, which is just a simple little thing that was started up called The View from My Window.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's gorgeous.
Apparently, it's incredible. I haven't come across it, but Trina has showed me some of these posts that have been put up of photographs, and they're extraordinary. I mean, they really are wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. There's also another thing is come have a pint with me.
Don't know that either. No.
Where you bring a laptop or to the pub.
Yes.
You tap in, and you have your mates in the pub sitting having and they have their mates in the pub sitting, and you all have a chat together. And I think in a world that seems to be becoming more fractious,
Yes.
This is it's a gorgeous way of just spending a few hours.
100%. But tell me, Eamon, when you say you're talking to people and all that, presumably you're doing that on Zoom, not Instagram as such, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm doing it on. You can do it on both. I do it
Can you?
and also increasingly people are have a telephone link on their Instagram, so you can pick up the phone and ring them. And
okay.
it's free. It's like Zoom. It's free. It's not a. It's like
WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So it's exactly probably as much the same.
Yeah.
As WhatsApp.
Yeah, and I do a lot of WhatsApp as well. With.
But when you do that, is that confidential to you? It's not that you're going live.
No, it's confidential.
Casting.
Yeah, it's confidential to. It's just you're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
Literally. But I do get out. I do. I'm not sitting at home just
no.
This is my only form of entertainment. No,
but it is widening your group. I mean, before you'd go down to the local pub and that's all you'd see, the locals.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you're broadening your pitch.
And also I think one of the interesting things about is that there are artists who are working in areas that are not like my own.
Yes.
A bit like yourself, where you're much more figurative than I will ever be.
Yes.
So it is really interesting to sit down and talk to those artists about their practice and their reasons why they paint and their subject choice, all of that sort of thing. And that helps you broaden especially in the teaching realm, helps me broaden my approach when I'm actually engaged in workshops with other artists.
Yeah. You mentioned there the Kilkenny Festival and the Alternative
Festival.
You actually had a lot of people call to you, and it's only very recent, isn't it?
Yeah. It was just
how did that go?
Last Sunday.
Was it last Sunday? So tell us a bit about that, because I was fascinated to hear.
AKA are 10 years old this year, and they wanted to kind of, I suppose, expand their reach, move out much more into the county of Kilkenny than hitherto they have been. So they invited me to open my studio, which was brilliant in one way and daunting in another, because I had to clean the studio, and it was an absolute
mess. Before or after, or both?
Both, but especially before.
Yes.
And then what I did was I put up around 2 years' work. So I put up work from the Butler Gallery show that was 2 years ago in June this year. Yes. And then I put up studies from the gardens, and down in Wexford, in Waterford, and then I put up photographs and actual paintings that I had done. So, paintings I'd done based on those gardens.
Yes.
Some of them, so when I'm painting from gardens, and this show in the Solomon will be all about my garden experience. I'm talking about the gardens in France, the gardens in Waterford, and the gardens here at home. So it's all kind of meandering into each other. I'm not being specific about where. So Pauline had a book launch. She has written this book coming from a Nissan hut down at crossroads near us, and she had sat in it and wrote what can only be described as a sound poem. And NCAD designed it and published it, and she went back to the crossroads and had a reading. So everybody went to the crossroads first and then came up to my studio, and I looked around at one stage and there were 100 people in the studio, and it was like, really, wow, this is really working, and because it was a lot of it was local neighbors who have no idea about what we do because they're farming. It's a farming community. So suddenly you were bringing people into your studio, and they were asking questions, and because the photographs were there, they were kind of getting the work. They were getting that move towards abstraction. So it was all really interesting. And then we kept the studio open until Sunday. The Sunday just gone, so it was open for a week.
Oh, right,
and,
okay.
I was getting,
you got a really good throughput.
Yeah, you got getting 6, 7, 8 people coming up every day.
Tell me a little bit more about Pauline's book, because that sounds intriguing, the way she actually compiled it.
It's fascinating.
Were people aware of what she was doing when she was doing it?
She sat in a it was a as far as I can remember, that's about 2 years ago now that she sat there. It was in early spring.
Okay.
It was still pretty cold and miserable, and she recorded in words what she was hearing around her. So, for instance, when there was a car in the distance, she would write "car" small, and the car would then get bigger as it came, and then get very big, and then drift off back down to silence again. So it's very I suppose the easiest way to describe it is Beckett-like to a certain extent.
Okay. Where would one get that? You said
she has on Cade Tina, which is the gallery that's in Dunn Stores in Kilkenny at the moment.
Oh yes, yes.
For the first time in our working lives, Pauline and myself are exhibiting together.
Really?
And that's kind of nice. So she has a book there. And also she is doing various launches around. She's just had a launch in Vienna.
Okay.
So she's doing various launches around the place of it. It's beautifully produced.
Yeah, we'll put a link on the show notes.
Yeah.
To that.
Great. Yeah. I'll
you send me the info.
I'll send you all of the
Very good. Okay. So Eamon, we try and keep this within 30 minutes. So it's really kind of a podcast like thing.
Yeah.
And the sort of thing I'd like to ascertain from you is, and I know we all learn, as we always say here, every day is a school day. But is there anything that stands out in the last 4 years where your attitude to something has changed, or you've had a bit of a realization about something that has made you change your direction, or anything like that?
Yeah. For me, I suppose personally, one is my paintings used to be quite busy. Yes. There was quite a lot of incidental moments happening in the paintings. Now I'm paring the paintings right back. And that has been very exciting to actually try. So lots more drawing,
Yeah.
lots more studies,
Yes.
and I've actually really slowed down the painting process as a result. So the the finished painting could take 2 years, 3 years. Sometimes like the Butler show, the paintings were 5 years in the making. I had started them before I got cancer, and I could see the journey in the paintings of that journey, that personal journey. So that has been, I suppose, my biggest learning curve is, talk more and say less, if you know what I mean. Say less in the paintings. I'll never be somebody who can stop talking.
No. Well, as you
Maybe I can
said,
stop mark making in the same way.
I know, as you said when I asked you about, when do you know a painting is finished? You said they start talking to each other when they're
Yeah,
finished or something like that.
yeah,
Which I
and
thought was,
that's still true. They
yes.
have to start talking to each other. But one of the things that maybe the talking needs to be a whisper.
Yeah.
Rather than a shout.
Interesting.
And my color, as a result, my color palette has been toned down slightly. It's probably a little, I'm probably using 5 or 6 colors now, whereas before I was using the full gambit of colors that are, I'm tending to use things like Naples yellow a lot more than strong. If I have strong yellows, they're part of the whole, brush making.
I know.
Of the painting, of the canvases. Being in the gardens really galvanized that for me, because I spent a year in Monconcrief, so I was there, from June to June, so I saw it right through the whole
to June of this year, 2025.
Yeah. So it started last year, and
you mentioned your son Ruben there, and that he's got Trinity this
yeah.
year. What's he studying there?
Anything but the arts. He's studying engineering.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. Yeah.
Yeah, he's studying engineering. So
is he?
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's having to work as well. So that to keep the show on the road. But yeah. I mean, it's amazing. It's great.
Eamon, I call that character building.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great. It's all wonderful. It's been a big change for us, Pauline. For the two of us here.
Yeah. But the empty nest syndrome.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Even though you still worry yourself sick about them, I presume that'll go on until you're an old fella.
It never stops.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. So it's been great.
Yeah.
And he's getting on well, and he loves Dublin, and it's a whole new set of friends for him. So there's been a whole new set of friends for us, and it's a circle of life, really.
Absolutely.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. Well, look, Eamon, it's been a pleasure talking to you, as always. And again, I would urge people to go and look through the previous episode where they learn an awful lot more about you.
Yeah.
But it's great to get that sort of update on your career and how your practice is sort of changing in a very subtle way, but also introducing other elements, which I think is very exciting.
And I hope I'm never that jaded of work that, like a lot of artists, when they get older, they just produce the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah, and I want to be somebody who is engaged.
Sure.
So that's exciting.
Brilliant.
So thank you. Thanks for the call.
Not at all. I'm excited to catch up with the, as we call it, the echoes from the well.
Yeah, I love the idea of.
Yeah, so no doubt you'll see a few more.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when this is going to go out, but we're going to get a few under our belt before we actually launch it, which will be early September.
Right.
Yeah.
No. I think there needs to be more conversations with artists.
Yes. Well, you're certainly doing your bit, aren't you?
Yeah. You can't shut me up once I start.
That's true. Okay, shut up.
Great. Listen, cheers. Thank you.
Okay, cheers. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Cheerio. Bye-bye now.